What's going on, everyone? So we're all anxiously waiting for this Lakers season, right? I mean, this roster is ridiculous, and I really have the utmost confidence that the Lakers are going to be one of, if not the best teams in the entire league. I think that they're going to be top 3 to 5 in offense, and I think they're going to be top 3 at worst, maybe top 5 in defense. And to put that in perspective, the only team that was top 5 in both last year was the Boston Celtics. So if the Lakers can do that, they're going to be one of the best teams in the entire league. And when you look at this roster, yes, they have a lot of depth, they have a lot of talent, they have a lot of versatility, but it mostly rests on LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and then, of course, the comparison of the big threes, right? Now, big threes to most are the LeBron, Wade, and Bosh, or, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, like things like that. But a lot of metrics in the league are based on the 3 players. It doesn't have to necessarily be a superstar. It's who are the 2 stars, and then who's that third guy that on a nightly basis is giving you the most production? Who's that guy on any other night could be the number 1 or 2 option for a respected team? And that guy is clearly Austin Reaves. I think Austin Reaves is going to be the guy that is on most nights the second option, right? I think he's the guy that if LeBron and AD both have the night off, guess who's going to be the number 1 guy? It's going to be Austin Reaves. I think Austin Reaves is going to be a guy that's closing down the stretch. I think Austin Reaves is going to be a huge part, and I wouldn't even be surprised if he's the guy that plays the most minutes on this Lakers roster. LeBron and AD are going to be playing about 30-plus minutes. Hopefully, it's closer to 30 minutes. Now, obviously, 5-point game, playing the Celtics, there's 5 minutes left. LeBron's already at 30 minutes. You're not going to be like, hey, sorry, bud, go have a seat. No, but night in and night out, there's no reason LeBron and AD should be playing 35 to 36 minutes. I expect both of those guys to be around 30 to maybe 32 minutes. But Reaves, I wouldn't be surprised if he is like 32 minutes because of his versatility and his ability to kind of be that gap player, right? Be the guy that could play with the bench unit, be the guy that could play in the starting unit. Not saying LeBron and AD can't, but you're not going to want them to be too heavy on one way or the other, right? Where Reaves, he can kind of be that guy. He's got the fresh legs. He doesn't have all the mileage. I understand he's just coming off of Team USA, but even there, he wasn't playing 40 minutes a game for Team USA. He was a guy that was coming off the bench, right? So he's a young guy that wants to prove himself, that wants to play on the ball more, that wants to have the responsibilities of a point guard more. I think he's going to get that opportunity. And the Lakers, as far as the big 3 goes, were ranked 4th. Only behind the Boston Celtics, the Phoenix Suns, and the, of course, NBA championship Denver Nuggets. So when you look at the Lakers' metrics, I mean, they were pretty good, right? They were a team that, now, obviously, to start the season, were terrible. But once they got the new, because that's what we're going to be comparing it to, right? You can't really necessarily look over the entirety of the season because, one, Austin Reaves wasn't that guy over the course of the season. And you had a completely different roster on the back half of the season than you did in the first half. So the overall metrics for the Lakers was not very good. But when you boil it down to like their plus minus win shares, like they were almost a plus 13. They combined for 27.7 wins collectively. Again, that is that stretch in which they were the 3 guys, right? So again, you're talking like, 2/3 of the season, if that. I don't even think it was that many games, right? But the point is that Austin Reaves is going to have a first year of fully being embraced, fully emerged in the new and improved Austin Reaves, the guy that has taken those strides, the guy that is given that opportunity. And you got to imagine that he's going to be much improved. And the question is, where will the Lakers be as far as the big 3 rankings in the league? I wouldn't be surprised if they're number 1 or number 2. Like I said, they were last year ranked 4th. Again, small sample size, right? Compared to some of the other teams, right? Compared to some of like Denver had the entire year together, right? So outside of that, with this full season ahead of us, I don't see anything from last year and during that stretch that won't translate into this season. If anything, it should be better because LeBron and Anthony Davis aren't going to have to work as hard and do as much over the course of the season, which will lead to them later in the season being in a better position, hopefully health-wise, right? Like LeBron and AD had to basically strain themselves over the season just to keep us afloat. They were in and out of the lineups due to injuries, right? And, you know, we had those stretches where like LeBron was having to put up 30 plus a game and he's just chasing the scoring title because it's like, well, we suck anyway and we're probably not going to make the playoffs. So I might as well at least go try to drop 40 a night, go get this scoring title, and at least it'll give us a chance to be in every game, right? And then Anthony Davis, when LeBron's out, he's, you know, trying to do everything he can. He led the league in 30 and 15 games, and he also led the league in 35 and 15 games, right? So by the time Reaves had that emergence, LeBron and AD were already worn out. They're already worn down compared to some of these other teams and some of these other guys. Now you're going to get a full season with that. Not just that, but we've seen the trust and belief that LeBron has in Austin Reaves. Like, there are very few players, if any, where LeBron has just completely been a background character and allowed Reaves to be the main guy. I mean, we saw that, like, especially in like the Memphis series. LeBron just became an NPC. It was just standing in the corner, just chilling, letting Reaves go to work. And he was delivering. And you got to love that. And I do think Reaves is very likely going to be our closer down the stretch. I think he's the guy that they're going to put the ball in his hands because he is so efficient, he is so effective, and he does a good job of not taking bad shots. So instead of taking a bad shot, he's going to pass it up. But I would like to see him be more aggressive. He didn't really become aggressive until the playoffs. And then you saw in certain spots, like I said, that Grizzly series, he had that moment in almost every series. And then the Denver series especially, he was like our best player. And so my guess is that this season, he'll be more aggressive. He'll be more in attack mode. So those numbers are going to be even better. Not necessarily saying that Reaves, I do think Reaves' numbers will be better, but I'm not saying he's going to be like a 30, 10, and 10 guy or anything like that. I'm not talking about like prime James Harden here. I'm talking about the metrics as far as like the big threes go and where they compare to the rest of the league. I think the Lakers, again, are probably going to be one of, if not the best teams in the entire league. And with that, they're going to have good metrics. And very likely, the Lakers' best three-man unit is going to be LeBron, Reaves, and Anthony Davis. Those three guys are going to be great. Now, you have other pieces, right? D'Angelo Russell, I think, will be a big part. We'll see what Rui Hachimura does. Christian Wood, right? Does he kind of be the third guy for the Lakers? I think it will be Austin Reaves. But one, Austin Reaves just cares about winning. He just cares about, like, what does he need to do to put the team in the best position. So I could see Reaves willing to sacrifice to allow Christian Wood to go off for 18 and 8, right? I can see him sacrificing to allow D'Lo to go off for 18 a game, right? But I just think when everything culminates and at the end of the season we're looking back and we're looking at the metrics, we're looking at the numbers, I think you're going to see LeBron, Reaves, and Anthony Davis as the top three, right? I mean, I think that they'll be, again, they were a plus 13 or 12.6 to be exact, right? So they were plus 12.6 for an entire season. Is it that far-fetched for them to be a plus 15? Maybe? Right? For example, the last time the Lakers had the best three-man plus-minus duo was Schroeder, LeBron, and Anthony Davis, and they were a plus 15 and a half. And Reaves is a better overall player than Schroeder is and is going to provide more. And to continue to add to that fuel to the fire, right? You have the Denver Nuggets, who were number one last year, at a plus-minus of 14.8 as a net rating and a estimated plus-minus of 14. So, again, to put it in comparison to the Lakers, right? The Lakers were a plus minus 16.4, which again, 99 percentile, same thing as the Denver Nuggets, and then a combined estimated plus minus of 12.6. Right? So you're talking about a 1.4% difference compared to the number one team last year. And now you're going to have a full entire year with these guys. Anthony Davis is going to be the clear-cut number one option. He's going to be the guy for the Lakers. LeBron, I think, kind of coasts throughout the season, and I think he picks and chooses, but he's still going to be a 23, 8-8 guy, right? Like, he was a 38-8 guy last year. Like, I don't think he's going to drop. I think his offensive output might drop a little bit just because you have Reaves, you have Wood, AD, he wants AD to be the number one guy. You have all these other pieces. I wouldn't even be surprised if LeBron averages 10 assists this season, right? Like, I really wouldn't. So my guess is LeBron is probably in the, like I said, he'll probably get you 23, somewhere in that ballpark, 23 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, somewhere in that ballpark, give or take a little bit on everything. Just because, look, LeBron shows up to work and he has 20 because he's just that good, that talented. But I think we kind of see him do what we saw him do in the back half. Anthony Davis gets to kind of be the guy. He's going to go off for his 25 to 30. Reaves will probably go get his 15 to 18. And then everyone else will chip in. LeBron will probably, at the end of the first quarter, have like 0 points, or maybe he has like 2 points or something like that. Third quarter, at halftime, he'll finish with like 4 points, right? We saw that like last year when we got the new roster. At halftime, LeBron would have like 4 to 8 points, and then he'd finish the game with like 32, and you're like, dude, LeBron scored 28 points in the second half. And it's like, yeah, like he just pick and chose his spots, right? I think that's what he'll do. I think because he always is like to kind of get everyone going in the first quarter because he knows he can eat whenever he wants. So I do expect him to kind of allow everyone to eat. He'll probably get, a couple points here and there in that first quarter. And then, so let's say he gives you 4 points in the first quarter, gives you 6 in the second, right? So now he's at 10, and then he gives you another 6 in the third, or maybe he pushes it up a little bit to like 8 points in the third. So now he's at 18, and he gives you another like 5 to 6 in the fourth, right? Hopefully the Lakers have the lead, or vice versa. Maybe he gives you like 6 in the third, and then he gives you like another 8 or whatever in the fourth, and then he's still one of the top like scorers in the league in the fourth quarter, and he's giving you a 24 game. That's kind of my guess. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Where do you think the Lakers will rank as far as like big threes go with LeBron, AD, and Reaves? Again, I'm not saying that they will be number one. I just wouldn't be surprised. I still think they'll be top 3 to 5. I do. Like, again, fourth last year. I think at worst that's where they are this year. Because the only teams that were ahead of them are the teams that are the only teams that have a chance to be ahead of them, right? And I'm not even sure. I don't know if Kristaps Porzingis provides everything as far as like those percentiles go that Marcus Smart did for the Celtics. So I think that they may leapfrog him, and we'll see what does Bradley Beal, Damian Lillard, and Kevin Durant look like. Right? They could be a little sloppy, and and then does Denver, do they kind of take a step back a little bit and have that like, championship hangover? All of a sudden, Lakers go from fourth to they're number one. So I think that they're, at worst, I think they're top 4. Best, I think they're number 1. But where do you rank them? Love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments.